Blog Talk Radio.
Please take all the necessary precautions to protect your constitution while listening to this broadcast. 3, 2, 1. Coming to you live via the internet. It's time for Rage Against the Regime. Let's get ready to rumble! Finally, a show for patriots, defending the Constitution and uncovering the truth at every turn, bringing you exclusive interviews and covering the topics the mainstream media doesn't dare to touch. Call in and join the discussion at 929-477-3565. That's 929-477-3565. And now, here are your hosts, Bobby Who's the Man and Becky Williams. Rage Against the Regime.
I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man. Yes, I am, yes, I am, yes, I am. I'm the man, I'm the man, I'm the man.
Welcome back to Rage Against the Regime podcast, and I am your host, Bobby Who's the Man. And as always, there's technical issues abroad. The studio wasn't set up properly like it was supposed to be, so here I am fighting the course and, trying to do what I can do to try to get things to work properly, and that is not the case at all. So, besides that, here we are on another day, another adventure with my trusty sidekick, as always, Becky Williams. Hello, Becky.
Hey, ho, 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 Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, my brother.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff to you also. I've been against the clock. I've been ready for a long time now for this to happen. So, I'm sitting here, I'm testing this, testing that, and then all of a sudden the microphone's not working right. And I'm like, wait a minute, what in the hell's going on here? So, no microphone, and then all of a sudden I have no juice whatsoever. So then I can't get the headphones to work. So then, I was trying to call in directly. So now, since I'm actually in the show and I'm already on the phone, I don't think that I can actually, because I have my stepson trying to check the microphone and check the headphones and everything else. And I think since I'm already in the show and everything else, and I've already come on through through my telephone at my house, I don't think that this is going to work right now. So hopefully for tomorrow's show, I will have it up and working properly and everything else.
Well, brother, it wouldn't be a broadcast Rage Against the Regime if we didn't have some technical issues. I mean, that's something that happens on a regular, isn't it?
Yep, absolutely. Sure is, absolutely. So, but it is what it is, and we're here, and it's no big deal. I'll get it figured out eventually. I just figured if I would have went in properly the way that I was supposed to, and I would have been able to, to bring up the microphone and all that stuff instead of me calling on my house phone and whatever, that I would have been okay, and I would have been able to do it the way that I wanted to do it, where it was correct and everything else, and no, that's not.
That sucks. Hey, I've asked a couple of people to call in. I think Fletcher Terry's going to be calling in this evening. I'm hoping he will.
We have a couple people that have called in, but nobody has raised their hand to say that they would like to partake. So, if anybody would like to jump in with us, you have to press the number 1, and that will allow you to be part of the show.
Fantastic.
Oh, we have one person raising their hand, and let's see who this is. From the 870 area code, who do we have?
Well, who do you think?
Hey, Mr. Keith, what's happening?
Not much.
I knew
Sounds like you need a
something,
technician to help you.
Yeah, you know what? This is what's going on. I'm home tonight, okay, and I'm actually able to do a show from the studio in my house that I've been working on. So now here I am, I've got everything I thought set up and everything else, but now I wanted to use a headset and use a microphone to be able to do this correctly. So here I am thinking, I'm going to be able to do it correctly. I'm going to be able to have a nice little setup. I'm going to be able to talk like I'm supposed to, whatever, and that is nowhere near the case. So here I am talking on a phone with it to my ear, and it's hurting my ear, and that's about it. But I'm thinking if I maybe call back in, if I have this set up right, and I call back in, then it will allow me to do it the correct way. But I don't want to chance anything like that. So I don't know how I'm going to do this, but I can't do it the way I'm doing it because it's holding a house phone to my ear, it hurts.
Well, like I say, you need a technician.
Well, I have my stepson here who's pretty handy with, stuff like this, but
Yeah.
I don't know. We're not figuring it out fast enough. So so no big deal. I mean, yeah, a tech would have been nice. I mean, we've got wires ran all over the house and this and that, and all over the studio or whatever, and it's not working right. So no big deal. But I mean, I had another microphone piece. I just can't figure out where it is. I had a microphone piece that actually you plug into the headset that I have, and it's an extra microphone, and wouldn't you know it, we can't find it right now. I bought an extra one just to have for that reason, and we can't find it. So it is what it is. But you know what? I actually think I know where it is. Hey, Sean, go out to my car and get my black bag out of the back of the car, my work bag. I think I know where my extra microphone is. Maybe there is some hope. So anyway, here we are. Yes.
Bobby.
Yes.
I can never get Natalie, my better half, to call in. I mean, she always wants to say something when we're having the show. So she rang in, I put you all on hold and came back, and she's like, let me hang up. And I'm like, no, don't hang up. And without her knowing it, I've merged her to the Rage Against Regime show. So y'all say hi to Natalie.
Hello, Natalie.
Hi. Thank you, Becky.
How's that?
She doesn't sound too happy that you did that.
I brought her in screaming and kicking. Hi.
It was under false pretenses. She said, hold on a minute.
Right. She has a way of doing that type of stuff to people, I guess.
Oh, I know.
Hang on one second. Hang on. I got something to take care of, and I'll be right back. And, yeah, right. Here you are.
It's very funny.
So, isn't it? Hey, I'll drag those callers in screaming and kicking. Y'all better call in, or I just might pop up on your phone and say, hey, hold on just a minute.
Right. Right. Well,
hey, Bobby,
so we got a lot to cover.
Yeah, man. Did you hear about, I watched several videos yesterday, or not yesterday, actually last night when I got home. Actually, it was this morning. If you want to be technical, it was like 4 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, bunch of these little thug-ass negroids wanted to kill cops and calling for cops to be murdered, and they actually picked 7 of them up and put them in jail, and a couple of them are $1 million bond. Did you hear about all that?
Well, are you talking about New York or are you talking about Las Vegas now?
Man, I'm talking about all over the place. They picked up 7 different people that on social media had made videos and were talking smack. Wow, they picked up 7 of them.
Yeah, well, I know that they picked up 2 of them out of New York, and 2 of them, not 2, but they picked up 7 or 8 out of New York, and 3 of them are $1 million bonds alone. They've not been able to find anyone that's connected with the one released last word I had from Las Vegas yet. They have found the one from the one near Ferguson, though.
No kidding.
So.
There's crazy stuff going on, huh, Keith?
Well, you know what? Let me bring up something.
All right.
Somebody brought something to my attention the other day that I thought was a pretty good one. They said, how do we all actually even know that that North Korea was pissed about this movie and everything else just because the government tells us that?
I don't
just
believe
because
it.
They say that they're mad about it? I mean, we know that they don't like us. Okay, that's a given. I mean, that's an automatic. But I mean, I don't believe half the stuff that they're saying right now. I would not be surprised at all if it wasn't some kind of ploy, some kind of ratings getter, some kind of false flag, something in that realm to lead the American public to believe that we may be kicking off a war with North Korea, especially over something very, very minute and very stupid like a movie that I actually saw today, by the way, and it's a very good movie. It's funny, and I recommend it for anybody that wants a good laugh. You'll get a real good laugh out of this one. But other than that,
I agree with what you're saying, Bobby, to a point.
Huh?
I say I agree with you to a point, but at the same time, I'm getting information in from 7 different sources that the possibility of them coming over here and setting up an EMP because of this movie right now.
Well, they actually have one floating around in outer space. There's an EMP that's been floating around. It's just not active right now. And somebody brought up a good point the other day, too, saying that maybe they're waiting for it to, to activate it and everything when it actually hits on the south side of the United States where we actually don't have any eyes at.
Right, because there's a place there in Texas that they don't really have any eyes at right now, yeah.
Right, exactly, and that's what the person brought up. They said there's a place in, down around the southern border, around around Texas and stuff like that.
Yes.
And, that would be the place.
Yep.
So it's actually pretty scary. So.
Well, yeah, but they don't want to mess with Texas, really, because you know why? I live here.
Yeah, right?
I don't...
we do know that we're in danger down here in Texas. I mean, that is a given. We've been in danger for a long time, though. That border's been wide open for so long. I mean, more years than this transparency that Obama promised us. Boy, he's really given us some of that now, isn't he? More than before him. And, during the Bush administration, Clinton's had a lot to do with allowing illegals to come through the border. I mean, it's just been crooked from God knows when, practically day one, the existence of our country. But we have really been right down in Texas, and we have been, I hate to say this, man, but I think we've already been overtaken.
Well, I was just going to say that if it was Mao Zedong, I don't think it was still there in North Korea. He wouldn't worry about you too much. He wasted 20 million people just so he could confiscate all the weapons there, so one person ain't going to matter to him.
Oh, well, but then they never met Grambo. I am Grambo. Not to be mistaken as Rambo. I am Grambo. I got babies I have to defend. They don't want to mess with me. There's probably about 10 million of them just like me right here in the state of Texas. But the bottom line is they're all around us. This is the scary thing, guys. These people are all around us. They're waiting. They're here for a reason. They have purpose, and it's not a good one. I'm not saying that some have not legitimately sought to make their way into America because they actually wanted to contribute to our economy and become American citizens. But the likes of what we've seen come through there in the last 18 months to 4 years, that is not the case. It's simply people have been promised that if they come over here and change the demographics of the population in certain states and certain regions and voted for certain people, they would be given carte blanche in every consideration. So with that, we now know this to be a fact. It's not a conspiracy theory. I don't need to wear a tinfoil, hat for that.
But there is a way around this, though, Becky.
What is it?
Okay. Well, there's a county in California right now who's already done it. It's called self-governing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and then at that point in time, you have all the power, all the illegals, all Islam. There's the door. Adios, serenata.
Well, my platform when I ran for governor this year was for that purpose as well. That was part of my platform. Get the hell out. You don't belong here, go. And, honestly, if we had seceded Texas, the eradication by way of, either voluntarily or otherwise for Islam was to rid the new country or the new land of Islam because nobody can coincide with them. You just can't.
Hey, we got some calls online if you guys want to take some calls.
Bring it on. Bring it on.
All right, let's see. Who do we got here? From the 937 area code. Who do we got?
This is Fletcher. This is Terry. Hey, y'all.
Hey Terry. Hey.
Hey, Miss Becky, I'll be glad when you get out of jail. I miss you.
Yeah, I committed a felony. It's a wonder I didn't get a death sentence on this one. This is like my 5th felony of exercising my First Right Amendments on Nazi books. So
yeah, it's
Yeah.
they really want to stop our rights altogether. You know, like you said, that's a given. They want to keep on and on subliminally through the TV media, through every other thing they can do to make the next generation accept it blindly and take it as a norm. Oh, I could go on and on, but yeah, I hate to see you in Facebook jail, girl. I miss you. I'll go to Becky's Facebook. Wait a minute.
I'll tell you, I'm about tired of it. You know, you can turn in any terrorist Islamic page that preaches hate on Facebook, and I turned in one the other day for a page that says cops need to die now, and then there was another one about something, kill cops, all cops need to die, and, you know, they just won't remove those pages. But, boy, you let me slip the N-word in there or the wetback word in there, and they just go ballistic on me. It's like, you're fired for 30 days. You can't come on Facebook.
Well, they flagged you.
Unbelievable.
They flagged you. There's when I was up in Ohio, I recently just moved from Ohio. I don't know if you were aware of that, Becky, but I moved to Tennessee. There was a lady up there a couple of years ago, middle-aged lady, got into it with a neighbor, and she used the N-word on him. She was convicted for a felony.
Really?
For using, in Dayton, Ohio.
When I get called a white bitch or a cracker or a honky.
Well, you can use the word. If you use the G-E-R, that's felony status. But if you nigga's cool. You can call nigga all day.
No, and it sucks too. I just don't get it. They get all bent, but they're always calling each other that. I don't get it. But Terry, in my defense, and you can ask Bobby and Keith, and everybody's heard me that knows me, the thousands and thousands of listeners that have watched my rant or heard me on air. It's a culture. It's not a color.
Right.
It's a mentality that I speak of, not a color, because I have a biracial family, and we don't see color in our household. We see people,
Right.
That's what we see. But you're seeing this culture, and it comes in all colors, black, white, yellow, and red, and they're idiots, and I don't mind telling them they're idiots. In fact, I don't mind telling them in public they're idiots.
Well, I don't see a lot of white people out burning down their cities when a white thug gets murdered or killed justifiably by the police.
Exactly.
And I've seen it. I'm 60. I'll be 64 in February, and I've seen it for years, all my life. The blacks uprising, the Watts riot. Nothing has changed, and nothing is going to change. You can lead that horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Nothing's going to change. They gave the key to them how many years ago, and nothing has changed. You look at the administration we have today, nothing has changed. They're just more well-spoken.
Terry.
Because that mentality, ma'am.
So the liberal media are the ones that censor the news. That's the reason why everyone's not up in arms about white cops being killed, because they don't publicize it. Or white fellas, they don't publicize it. Like I had one of my friend's sons killed in a gang fight. He was white 2 weeks ago in Arlington, Texas, by a black thug. And it was the way the liberal media portrayed it, it was his best friend. And it was an accident, but it wasn't. I've spoken to the dad, and the dad confirms, no, it's not. He was part of the Crips, and because he's white, the liberal media did not portray it like that. They're making it like an accident crime.
Ah.
True story, man. 17-year-old kid call his daddy up from the jail going, come on, nigga, get me out. Come on, nigga. That's how he talked to his daddy. It's a white kid. But he got shot between the eyes from about, 4 foot away, 5 foot away, they said. Not even that far away, got shot right between the eyes. But supposedly, the media wanted to say it was an accident. But Natalie works with his father, and it was not an accident. But they won't pick it up, see? They won't talk about it.
No.
You know, in 2012, the government census was this. 123 blacks were killed by police officers. But when that same year, over 300, and I think it was 26 or 28 white people were killed by the police. And you know the media is screaming, and the protests are being orchestrated by this mafiotic government. They want to call themselves a government. They're not our government. They're rogue as hell. We've been taken over, but you know, it's been orchestrated by them. There's big money in these protests that we're seeing go on across the country. And I can't help but think, Terry and Keith and Bobby, I cannot help but think that there is an agenda behind this. We know they militarized our police departments. But why now all of a sudden are they demonizing our local police enforcement and organizing and sinking millions of dollars into these protests across the country? There is an agenda here, and we have lost lives because of it. In my opinion, Al Sharpton should be in jail right now for the crime of murder. He really should. If I rob a bank and you're in the car with me and I go and kill somebody, you don't pull the trigger, you get caught with me for that crime, you go to jail. It's called accessory to murder. You're going to get the same capital charge that I get. He has incited this violence.
Well, I think a lot of it, though, Becky, has to do with the fact that, see, they're getting the preliminary deal set up so they can declare martial law. And this is a good way to do it.
Well, there's an agenda behind that. There really is. But think about it this way. I know if I were a police officer right now, even if I was a good cop right now, I would have an itchy trigger finger. I would be paranoid in the street. I'd be afraid to do my job without being quick on the draw if need be. And you're going to start. It's like they're setting them up for failure. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's just like I mentioned before. You know, they're doing all this outcry for Michael Brown, and I said before, he gave up his rights when he went over and slammed that door. Okay? I mean, everything is fine. The guy has to go over and walk on the sidewalk. It had been a dead deal at that point. But he walked over and slammed that door, so he gave up his rights. He's the one that started the whole thing. First thing. The second thing is, you know, I again, and Terry don't know this, and Natalie don't. I work in the disability community, and a gentleman that was drunk, I won't deny that part, okay, but he was in a wheelchair, and because he was in a wheelchair and he was flailing his arms, handcuffed, he was a threat to him, so he shot and killed him. Now, where's the outcry?
Yeah, I saw that. I saw where the guy was in a wheelchair and he got smacked around by the cop, or not smacked around, he got beat in custody. And then he told the lady that jumped up to help the victim, you know, the guy in the wheelchair, sit down or he'd arrest her too. I would have knocked his ass out. You hear me? Listen, people.
Oh yeah.
I'm not saying be violent toward police officers, but if you witness an unconstitutional or unlawful attack in a physical manner on a citizen, you have to question your morals if you stand there and allow it to happen. He should have been cuffed. I would have knocked him out and cuffed him with his own cuffs and pressed charges. I really would have.
Well, Becky, you've got to know me, okay? Somewhat, okay? Well, your brother's a law enforcement officer, okay? I'm walking down the street with a friend of mine that's hearing impaired, doing sign language so I can understand what he's saying, and we're talking back and forth. Law enforcement comes over, stops, and wants to handcuff this guy because he's a threat to me. Now, what would you expect me to do? Just stand there and let him handcuff, or would you expect me to take your brother to the ground?
Right, exactly. Well, we've had several incidents, I do believe, and one not too terribly long ago involving a young man who couldn't hear a police officer. It was right after the Brown incident. A young man couldn't hear the police officer in front of the 7-Eleven, a white kid, and the cop shot him dead. He couldn't hear him. He had headphones on. He could not hear the police officer. And when he finally did turn around, he went to pull his pants up, and the cop pulled his gun and blew him away, killed him right then and there. I mean, the kid wasn't guilty of nothing. He didn't do anything. The cops had been called there for some kind of altercation in the parking lot or something.
Sure.
It's a sad day. Bobby, what do you have to add to this today, brother?
Right there.
Bobby, this is your phone. Terry? Bobby?
Yeah, I'm here.
Terry? Yeah, brother. Did we lose Bobby?
Hello?
Bobby. I guess
I'm here. I'm here.
What were the things you wanted to bring up and address, brother? I'm sorry, I went off on one of my dead-gum tangents. You know, I'll take pills if they'll just give me some.
Yeah, no, I'm just sitting here listening to everybody, and I'm just trying to see if I can get this thing to work. I think I actually might have it on the verge of working. They're telling me, because I went into Blog Talk to ask them what they think I should do, and they said, you know, what I need to do, and then they're telling me to hang up and call back or whatever, and just use Skype when I call back, or, you know, just connect via the internet, which I kind of already knew that was going to be the case. So, but we're just trying to make sure that this thing works properly, and because I'm kind of tired of holding this thing in my hand. I wanted to cover a few different things. Hang on one second. No. That plugs into something. A wire plugs into this, and then it goes to somewhere. That's actually the mic. That has to plug into something. No. Yeah, and then.
So, Terry, how was your Christmas, brother?
It was good. I'm very grateful, Miss Becky. I got to see my son after 6 years and a new grandbaby at 7 months old, and his new wife. It was just, I couldn't ask for a better Christmas, Becky.
Oh.
He brought a couple of his toys up, and we worked out with them. we had a real good time. Excellent Christmas. I'm very thankful. I just wish the times were better across the nation.
Amen to that, brother. You know, we're working on that. We're trying real hard to get it done. You know.
Hey, I'm going to call right back. Becky, I'm going to call right back.
Go ahead, brother. Cool. You know, Terry, we've done everything we can from, you know, petitioning to, you know, overpass to, you know, peaceful, I guess you could call it protest. I call it a very small gathering. I get more people in my house for a barbecue. That's sad. Across this country, we've made phone call after phone call. You know, I ran for governor of Texas and wanted to secede the state, and I had hopes and was gaining some excellent ground. I still managed to get 287,000 votes with zero budget, and the federal government shutting me down and keeping me from going full-blown public on my campaign. But, you know, we've done everything. We've done everything we can. Liberty Alliance. I worked for a little bit with the Article 5 until I found out George Soros had pumped millions into the convention, and I don't want any part of that. That nothing screams something's going on that's not right with that. To have George Soros want to bring the Article 5 convention to fruition because they can completely rewrite the entire Constitution to suit their taste, and we're not good with that. I'm not good with that. So I got away from that real quick. But I work with Liberty Alliance from time to time, and I stay in contact with those folks where the common law grand juries are being established across my state. And, you know, I've been so outspoken, and I've been nice about it, and I've been ugly about it, and I've been, you know, I've raged about it, and we're still in the same boat. And I just, Terry, honestly, brother, I just don't know how to get people motivated. I don't know how to express to the patriots that job that they use as an excuse I can't take off from, and you know, they make every excuse in the world why they can't gather and, you know, by the millions to do what needs to be done to try to avoid the situation that we're facing, which is going to be obviously violence. We want to avoid that. We want a resolution, not a revolution, and I just can't get people motivated. I can't get them motivated to support the few that do show up in Washington. we do a fundraiser, and we're lucky if we raise $800, and and that takes 45 days to get that done, just to feed people who are not working that are in Washington representing us and protesting against this government. If you have any suggestions, I'd I'd appreciate it.
Well, I personally am against a brick wall. I have stress, just like you, like the millions of us. There's millions, and yet we can't seem to get any resolve in our aim, in our common goal. It's so frustrating. It's mind-boggling. It boggles the imagination. It boggles logic, simple logic. I think often, now, this black thing, the riots, and which I honestly believe is orchestrated through this administration. I honestly do. What their agenda is, I guess it could be to kick off civil war, which would be a race war. I'm going to stand with my own. That's just what it is. That's where I'm at. I don't know what else to do. Stand with my own. Can I trust that man down there? Here comes a guy with a turban on. Can I trust him? Oh, he's a Sikh. Wait, is he? I don't know. Bang. In a revolution, and you wonder how people are going to react. I think the mentality is, other than everybody being broke, is they're just going to wait, defend their home. There's not going to be that.
And you know what? You know what, Terry? I agree with you there, but even that is just that's an insane thought, because when they come, you're not just going to be facing the martial law issue or the troops coming down the street, and they're going to come hundreds of thousands, and they're going to sweep by zones. This will be a military execution of logistics, okay? And they know how to go in and take regions and take nations. And at the end of the day, they have the technology. They have, biological weapons. They have weapons now, or aircraft now, that can actually see through the walls of your house. They know where the bodies are, and the heat-seeking technology that they have as well that will, it's going to illuminate, who's in the woods. So it's an insanity that these people continue to play out, because not only are you going to be facing that, but common sense tells you that 1 out of probably every 10,000 or 100,000 has actually been prepping to a degree that they can possibly sustain their families with food and water for more than about a minute. And if you think that your neighbor who has 5 kids or 4 kids or 3 kids and they're hungry is not going to do everything within their power to come into your home and kill you if need be in order to feed and give water to their families, you're mistaken. Now, you couple that with the welfare-riding idiots, and then you couple that with the foreign invasion that are all sucking the life out of us financially, that do definitely have an average of 5 to 7 children in their family. Those people, there's going to be so much murder and chaos and violence in the street, and there is no law. Everything is lawless at that point.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
To think, yes, so to think that the patriots that we have, I've been Paul Revere forever, it seems like, but to think that patriots will not sacrifice what it will take. Because at the end of the day, Terry, this is the fact of the matter, right, brother? 2-3 million people go in, surround Washington, kick the doors in and put them in cuffs. I didn't say go in and kill everybody. I said kick the doors in and put them in cuffs. Whatever you have to do, put them in cuffs. They need to be held accountable. At the end of the day, when that government is taken out, everything stops. Nobody's coming to repo your car. Nobody's coming to repo your house. Everything stops because the next step is to remove the cabal. The cabal is going to run like hell when they see we removed a tyrannical government. And so to get folks to understand that what you are fighting for by not taking this step and sacrifice just a little bit for a minute, you're going to lose everything that you're trying to hang on to. It would be like a cancer patient in stage 4 cancer deciding after they've been told they've got, 4 weeks to live that they're actually going to do something with traditional medicine to try to stop the cancer. It's just not going to happen. You're going to need God to intervene at that point. And I believe we're at a point where we need to be on bended knees asking God to intervene.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's, but I have to agree with the $1 million or $2 million hitting D.C. What other choice do we have as a people, as we the people? I don't see another choice. I really do not. Like some people, Thomas says, you got to start little. Go to your city council or your county council, and that's where you start. You start there and you work your way up to the state. That ain't gonna happen. If you do, here comes the state. If you go to the city or the county, here comes the state boys. And then there's a fight right there. But yeah, the 2 million or whatever, 1 million, 100,000 determined people could take Washington D.C.
You're correct, brother. And the sad thing is that Obastor decided that he was going to do the amnesty thing, and only 22 people showed up. The most people we had in Washington was 50. 50 patriots actually showed up in Washington. I was ready to go, but I got sick. And then when I got better, everybody was leaving, But I still did my part. I'm on the airways doing, 6, 7, sometimes 8 shows a week. I'm on around stage. I'm running. Hey, brother, I'm running the fundraisers. I'm doing everything I can to promote the people that are there and get them help. And I'm calling businesses and getting free pizzas delivered and free blankets. And, I'm still busting my butt to do what I need to do. And we simply don't even have that much dedication. I put a call out on the radio. I said, listen, I need some of you patriots. I need local businesses to be called to deliver them food, but, have them donate food. Are you there? Yeah, chick. Whoa. Chick. But you know what I'm saying, Terry? I mean, so even to get people to just circulate the fundraiser, even if they couldn't donate, it's like pulling teeth, man. I just couldn't get anybody to do anything but sit on the computer to share the same information with the same group of people and to rant and rave online. And then God bless them. I love my Oath Keepers. I love each and every one of them. But at the end of the day, please stop bragging to me about how you're going to uphold the Constitution, you're going to uphold the oath that you took, and you're going to protect this country against foreign and domestic. And the whole time you're doing nothing but put service on the computer. Get out of your house. Go be in Washington. Get 10 people with you. Tell people you take 4 with you. Y'all carpool. Share the expenses. Money's tight. I get. Everything. It's any instruction that we gave, any suggestions we gave were completely ignored. But for a handful of people.
Yep.
I don't know, brother. What do you suggest? You're a bright man. What do you suggest?
Well, I'm right along the lines you are, and most of the other people, there's no action. Me, I'm flat ass broke right after this move. And I have been for 2 weeks, but I'm not.
Oh, I know.
And I was broke when Manny hit D.C. I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't donate. I wanted to send you money. I just didn't have it. Just didn't have it. Covered was getting bare, getting into my rations.
I know.
Frustrated. The frustration's unbelievable, overwhelming. I think one time I talked to you guys, I say,
what's even better than that, Terry, is that we sat here and we let our government squeeze us so hard financially, and that's part of the logistics of this battle. They've done this on purpose to us on it. But we sat back and we let it happen. We've let them tax us up to some people are getting hit for over 50% of their weekly income or monthly income, however, biweekly, however they're paid. 50% or more. Some of them, I think someone told me 58% of what you're working for is being taken away from you. What the hell is that? Why would you if I walked up to you, Terry, be honest with me. I walked up to you, you had your paycheck in your pocket in cash, and I said, I want 58% of that paycheck right now. You give it to me. What the hell would you do? You'd most likely defend yourself, correct?
Yeah, it'd be robbery.
Exactly. So why the hell are we allowing this to be done? It's extortion. The 16th Amendment was never ratified. Am I correct, Keith?
Yep. Well, I was going to say, how about Denmark at 80%? Out of 100%, 80% of it's taxed.
Well,
You only get 20% back.
Well, I can't do anything about Denmark, but I can damn sure try to do something about my country. I mean, why?
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, though, if they get away with it in Denmark, how long around the corner is going to be here?
Well, they're not going to stop.
Yeah, Russia announced today that they are going into recession as we speak. Now, you know that Russia and China have formed a coalition to create their own currency to break away from. What the hell is that? Is that NSA? Can y'all hear all that noise?
No. I still say, Becky, we need to have people come join my world for a little while. I guarantee they'll change their mind real quick.
Yeah.
If you know what I'm saying.
It's crazy.
You have to count for every penny you get. Whatever you get, you have to account for. You get a little pittance for paying for rent. You got a little pittance left over for paying for your meds. You got to consider your food costs out of that. And you sit there and they say, well, your government will take care of you. Yeah, they'll take care of you. This is what you get. Now you sit down and say you can live on that.
Take care of you all the way up to the FEMA camp. Let's go.
No, that's basically what's going to happen.
Yep. It's exactly what's going to happen. And guess what we're going to do about it?
No,
the people that can't fend for themselves, guess what they're going to do about it? They're going to walk right along with them, and they're going to go right to the FEMA camp and take it as a blessing.
Yep.
And it's sad.
It's what they call zombie nation.
Well, you know what? It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame a lot of people don't have a choice in the matter. I mean, they don't, I can't even tell you how many people that I found out this weekend, or not this weekend, this past couple days, people that didn't even have anybody that they could be with on Christmas. Okay?
Yeah.
It's really, really a heartwarming thing, and it bugs me to know that there's people out there. I did a show earlier today talking about that. If you have somebody that is a family member of yours, okay, and you're having problems with that person right now, sometimes you can be the bigger person and just say, you know what, maybe, I'm just going to try to say hello. Maybe I'll be the first one to try to break the ice, even though there's been a problem for years and years, and, you thought that nothing would ever come of it or anything. Maybe it's time to actually, change all that and be the bigger person and just try to put an end to it, and and do what you can to make things right. But it's so hard to do, depending upon what the situation is for a lot of people, because we don't know what the true issues are or whatever. But the thought of people that have families, that have mothers, that have kids, grandparents, whatever, that they haven't talked to in a long time over something very stupid or very minute or whatever, it just doesn't make no sense to me. And, it's always this time of the year that really, really, really hits me. I mean, I see people standing out on the street corner and, and thinking to myself, and that the person's a vet or something, and they're standing out there and they don't have nothing. They have no food. They have no clothes. They don't have a family to go spend it with, on Christmas Eve or, any other holiday. It's just really, really, it's really, really scary, I guess you can say, because tomorrow is promised to nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Tomorrow is promised to nobody. So sometimes we should just be the bigger person and just say, you know what? let's try to just make amends or whatever. I know it's easy for me to give others advice and for me to say that, but I'm in the same damn situation. I mean, I don't put people's private business out there, but I know that there's quite a few people that listen to this show, that are people that come on the show and everything else that are pretty much in the same situation. And you know what? It's a damn shame. So,
I understand exactly what you're saying, Bobby. I mean, I'm not asking for anyone to feel sorry for me, but I mean, I can go back at least 10 years myself. I've spent every last 10 Christmases by myself, 100%.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, brother.
Here.
I really am. I'm sorry to hear that.
I have family here. I've been here for 2 years. You think they care? Nah, sorry. You know.
Well, like I said, I'm very, very sorry to hear that, and I wish that wasn't the case. And I don't know. Let's move on. So, you know, a lot of news coming out here the last couple days. You know, especially about all these goofs. You know, Russia's starting to act up again. You know, people, like we were talking about North Korea, we don't know if that's actually true or not. We don't know if North Korea is, you know, really having a problem with us, you know, over a stupid movie or whatever. We know that they have issues with us when it comes to other things, but, I mean, over a stupid movie? I mean, do you think that the guy is willing to go to war and come over here and nuke us over a stupid movie? I don't think so. I think that there's a lot more to that. And I think that the government is just misleading us and having us think that that's what it is, but I don't think that's got anything to do with it, to be honest with you.
Well, Bobby,
Hollywood is in total league with the United States government. They are manipulators. This thing over the movie was all a scam. That's all the hell it was a scam. And look at the ratings.
Right.
You know, that's all it was. And North Korea, they're the least of my freaking worries. They're nothing.
Well, see, that's what I think it is. I think it was a ploy or a false flag, or I don't know. It was something, but it wasn't North Korea threatening us. That's what I think.
Well, I think you're correct.
I'm sorry, Becky, I cut you off.
No, man, you're all right. I mean, honestly, for those who know this, if you don't, you can probably find it on YouTube. A year and a half ago, North Korea, whenever he first bucked up and, you know, there was missile issue and he was testing missiles and pissing South Korea off, it was in that time frame. North Korea made a video that was released on YouTube, and it was video nuking America. They nuked New York City and destroyed America, and they released it. And our government didn't say squat nothing about it. You know what I mean? So I'm with you, Bobby.
Right.
I'm with you, Terry. I believe this is nothing more than bullshit and manipulation. In my opinion,
right.
Nothing to do with anything. And of course, we've got to create to create order. You have to create a crisis and chaos. And so the Nazi media, the mafia media, who's controlled by the government, puts in the minds of the American people and internationally even, because we have people that we're heir to internationally, puts in the minds all this chaos, and they're creating steps to create animosity toward North Korea by the American people, create fear in our hearts that we're going to be attacked. And at the end of the day, it's all bullshit. It's psyops. It's mind control, and you can bet your butt that this is setting us up for a false flag, and it's going to have something to do with cybersecurity. We saw yesterday and the day before Xbox and PS4 attacked, and there was an outage by cyber attackers, Lizard Squad or something. So
tell me about it. I didn't even hear about that, Becky. You're breaking news to me. Tell me.
Well, there's this group called the Lizard Squad out there that hacked into the gamers' gateways for Xbox and PS4 and shut it down completely. You could not play your game. Yes. Yes.
Which day was this?
It was all over America.
No, I'm saying what day?
I'm sorry, it was global. All of it. They shut Xbox down where you couldn't use your Xbox at all or your PS4 for online gaming at all. Yesterday and the day before, and this morning they were still having issues, and now they're running really slow. Ty got his games for Christmas yesterday, and he couldn't get on his Xbox, and these guys were on Twitter, the Lizard Squad, saying Merry Christmas and poking, agitating people, saying, there's nothing you can do about it, ha, 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 y'all can't even arrest us, blah, blah, blah. But you're seeing more and more incidents. I work in the merchant service industry, and we have what is called PCI compliance. And basically what that is it's the algorithm and the encryptions are changed on a regular basis. And it's to stop the breach on the security on those machines through the gateway, through the Internet connection or the phone line, from someone hacking into it and gathering all the information from anybody who's had their cards slit. Well, how many incidents have we seen in the last 2 or 3 years where large corporations come out and say, over 1 million customers are compromised, over 500,000 customers are compromised, the system was hacked. I think the latest one was Macy's. How the hell does that happen?
Well, because they're, excuse me, all of them are set up on what we call the front ends, all set up on Windows. And the problem with Windows, there's so many memory leaks, or what we call security leaks. And all you have to do is find one of the security leaks, and you can write in and do whatever you want to. If they had Linux or they had Unix with Apache, it ain't going to happen. Because you have to get, in that environment, you have to go through Apache, first thing for a firewall. Then when you get Linux and Unix, you have another firewall.
Right.
But both these are encrypted. Not just 128, but 256 encrypted.
Exactly.
Okay.
And then they changed that encryption. In this industry, I know this to be a fact, that encryption is changed periodically, whether they do it in a 30-day window or they do it in a 60-day window. It is constantly changing. It's the PCI compliance. And how in the hell are they hacking it if the encryption or the algorithm of the encryption is changing?
Well, because they don't have to worry about the encryption because of Windows. Windows, you just go right into through Windows. You don't need to even worry about the encryption.
Okay.
Because of the memory leak.
But listen, do you really believe that the cabal, the banks, Visa, MasterCard, because you have to understand this is Visa, MasterCard, which Visa, MasterCard is a nice way of saying HSBC. It's a nice way of saying Chase Manhattan. It's a nice way of saying, you know what I mean? That's who owns this. And so for me to believe that is something that was not set up for that information to be stolen, I can't believe that. It has to be. This has to be with purpose that this is being done or allowed to be done.
Well, there's some what we call 40 trap doors in Windows. And all you have to do is know how to get in one of those through one of the trap doors. You can do anything you want to.
Well, I need you to teach me that.
The encryption doesn't exist.
Hey, Keith, my bank account's skinny, so you need to teach me. I'm just kidding.
No.
You see it in the movies. You do. Bam, $30 million disappeared. Where the hell did it go? Boo, where's it at?
Yeah. Well, see, to give you an idea, if you do encryption through Apache and through Unix, okay, you have to have a supercomputer running 24/7, and maybe in 200 years I might figure out the first number. I can do the same, and if I do it through Windows, you know what you're doing, you can do it in less than 1 day. That's the problem with Windows.
Very interesting. Yet Bill Gates is a friggin' billionaire.
Right. Yep. And just Natalie and Terry, you don't know me. I've got 30 years behind the computer industry. And I've worked in an area of technology most people don't even understand. People the company just then sends the bill and do what you need to do. So this is part of the reason why I know so much about it otherwise. So.
Well, Terry, I have to agree with Miss Becky on that. It's we're getting hit at so many levels, and like the psyops Becky mentioned, it's all psyops. They're bombarding us. They see the people wake, and this is my opinion. They see the people waking up, and my fear is that we're coming to a point where they have to make a big move. Now, like I said on another show, the Biden, Colin Powell, Hillary, who else? Several of them. I think Bush even said that there's going to be a big event occur whilst Obama is in office, and that was before he was re-coordinated the second time. And here we are, we're about to hit 2015. How much time we got? The Ebola thing, notice how it went dead blank? You didn't hear anything else about it on the news? Like tonight's evening news, I very seldom watch the evening news, but I did, and they had like a 30-second, 40-second piece on the cop's funeral. And that was it. Most you seen was what Becky was talking about, the Xbox and North Korea and the movie. They had more on that than they did on the cop's funeral. And it just goes to show the distraction, especially these younger people. They've got them. What can we do with them? I don't know. It's like when it comes down, are you going to stay there with your wife that thinks it's all conspiracy theories, or are you going to hit the streets and do what you got to do? It's the time is coming when people in this nation are going to have to bust a move. There's not going to be a choice. We've got 485,000, I understand, I don't know if it's true or not, supposedly 485,000 foreign troops across the nation that old man Bush, at bases that old man Bush had closed down. You got FEMA, Department of Homeland Security, and all the other agencies that they have armed. That's a large military force. You got all these small towns across the nation. I mean, you got towns with 2,000 people, 4,000 people that are getting MRAPs, M16s with bayonets. What the hell? I look at it as in some areas as a positive. Good, they're bringing supplies in. You know what I'm saying? But this 2015, I don't know. I just don't know. I try to watch what I can and perceive what I can, and people I talk to, it's like beating a dead horse sometimes. But I'm in hope, and I pray to God Almighty that when the time comes, should that big event, whatever the hell they're going to do, comes, that people will step forward. I will. Hopefully, if God gives me strength. Like the nuke bomb that they was going to set off in Charleston, and it was saved. I believe they were actually going to do it. There's a lady, I can't think of her name. She was the whistleblower for the World Bank. She did a video, an hour and some minutes long, and it's just amazing what's happening right now. There's a big power shift in the global banking system. And Germany, what if Germany was to pull out of NATO? Think about that. That's just one aspect. There's a battle going on with the gold. What they tell us a couple days ago that the stock market was 18,000, the highest it's ever been. The unemployment rate is shrinking. Blah blah. It's all bullshit. It's absolute. Look around. Everything.
You're correct.
It's all lies, and they're setting us up for that big drop.
You are correct.
And people are eating it up.
I got a call from one of our guys that works on Wall Street a couple of weeks ago, and he said, Becky, we're about to have the crash. And he goes, this is what they're going to do. And it happened. They're talking smack about it closed 18,000 points. And that's an inflated number. It's a lie. It's a false sense of security. There is no increase in employment. Unemployment right now is more than 50% of this country are out of work, and the extra jobs are being given to foreigners, and businesses are being given to foreigners. Americans are out of work. Exactly. The only increase in part-time jobs, and that is due to Obamacare running people out at 40 hours. that are having to take second jobs, and those jobs are being taken away from them as we speak. I see it every day in my own city. So it's all manipulation. It's all inflated numbers. They inflate and deflate what they want to. Like you said, Terry, it's all bullshit. It's a lie. Then they go on and talk like this. You know, they separate employment or unemployment by color, which is the most retarded thing I've ever heard of. First of all, most up until the invasion, the biggest recipients of welfare. I gotta plug in. The biggest recipients of welfare were the black community because the government needs to keep them poor and ignorant. And now it's Hispanic and foreigners that are sucking the welfare rug dry. But anyway, unemployment, 11% black population. Well, hell no, they don't want to work. Why would they work if they can get it free? That's just ignorant. Yeah. So they're going to have a higher rate of unemployment by choice, not by force.
Is your brother playing again?
Pardon?
No, my son came in, walking in my studio on me. Sorry.
That's all right.
My 5-year-old asked him if he could play a game. It's like, I'm bored, Dad. Can I play a game? It's like, yeah. We've got a couple of people that are asking for the phone number. Let's give it out so we can get some callers in here because I got quite a few people that say that they want to call in. And anybody that wants to call in, it's 929-477-3565. That's 929-477-3565. So let's get some calls in and let's start raging about what's going on, out here. And I know that people got some rage built up inside of them. I mean, this is the time and the place, to do all your raging right now. So.
Amen. And I promise, Bobby, tonight I won't call Obama any of those names like piece of shit, cockroach, Islamic
You are such
bastard.
a liar. God, you're such a liar. Quit lying already.
That piece of shit mole that you serve.
Anyway.
I really won't. I won't.
Yeah, you promise. I won't say none of this stuff. You such and such son of a you-know-who. Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, I'm hoping tomorrow at this, I'm hoping tomorrow when we do the show, that I will, yes, he did, that I will have the technical issues taken care of and that I'll be able to have a, real connection going and be able to link right to the computer and not have to go through my cell phone or any other phone. And, I'm going to take full advantage of this. My wife is out of town. She's going to be gone. She just left today. Yeah, woo! She just left today. She probably won't be back home for, I don't know, at least 5 days, 6 days. And then she's taking back off again to go back out again.
Where?
To go help her aunt move and do whatever. So, it is what it is. So here I am. Here I sit.
Hey, Bobby, for all the listeners out there, party at Bobby's house. Party at Bobby's house.
Yeah, right? Yeah, right? Actually, the closest person to me is Keith, and he's not very close.
Free barbecue at Bobby's house.
Yeah, Keith is the closest one to me, and he's not very close. So, yeah, I don't foresee that happening too easily.
6 hours.
Terry, what state are you in?
I'm in Tennessee.
Terry, do I have an accent?
Yes, you do. I love
sorry.
it. You sound like you're from Virginia or somewhere.
Yeah, oh, you cussing me now.
My God, West Virginia?
Yes, my God.
She's from my God, West Virginia.
Oh, are you?
No, I'm actually from Texas. I'm born and bred and chicken fed.
Well, you sound country as they do in the South everywhere. Yep.
Good Lord. You know what? You know what I hate? I hate the way that they depict us on TV, you know, like in the movies and stuff. Because when I was like over in Europe, you know, like over in the UK and stuff, people think we're stupid because of our accents. They really do. Think about it. How many times you watch them do anything with a character that is based out of Texas where they actually look like they have intelligence? Not only do they make us speak stupidly, right, but they make us look stupid. Like we have no common sense, we're uneducated. Now, at the end of the day, I was top of my class 7 times in the first grade. Don't call me stupid.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, being up in Dayton is where I was born and kind of raised. We moved around a lot, Kentucky and back and forth. But guys I know up there, I know 2 of them since I was a kid. They were born and raised in Dayton, and they hate Texas, and they they hate Texas, and they hate people in the South because they're stupid. They have been taught that through the media.
That's sad.
Yeah.
You know what my IQ was when I tested for the Navy? 156.
Damn.
I'm friggin' genius. What are you kidding me? Okay, I've grown a few years since then. I probably lost a couple of brain cells on some tequila and stuff. But I'm still intelligent. You know, I'm anything but ignorant. Just because my deliverance is sometimes painted with stupidity doesn't actually mean my intelligence is. It just means I'm raging.
Yeah. Well, I love Texas. I love the South.
South
and always have. My grandfather named one of his sons Robert E. Lee.
Hey, my cousin was married to Robert E. Lee's great-grandson. They own Lee Lighting, all the Lee Lighting stores across the country.
Uh-huh.
And buy your pretty little chandeliers and stuff. Yeah, she was married to him. They have a son. She lives in Florida now. They got a divorce, but she was married to him for, I guess 25 years.
Love Robert E. Lee.
Out of Atlanta. Robert E. Lee's great-grandson.
Well, I arranged it where my son was born in Atlanta.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he'd be born. I was born in Ohio. But, you know, there's 567 Fletcher served in the Confederates, and that's who I'll stand with.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bravo, brother.
I'm going to back off here a little bit, and I'm going to go on mute and listen to y'all. I love y'all. I may chime back in on something if it sparks me.
Hey, brother, you know you're a blessing. You're a blessing to me, and I'm so honored to have you as one of my family members, man. I can't tell you enough how much inspiration you've been for me. So I want to thank you for who you are and how you have treated me over the years. Thank you.
Well, same likewise there, Miss Becky. I love you too, dear. And you all carry on. I'll chime in if something sparks me. Okay?
All right, Mr. Fletcher. All right, sir.
Thank you. All right, gentlemen.
Bye-bye. We have another caller. I believe I know who this is, but we're going to bring him in. Oh, he actually hung up. Oh, there he goes. Let's see here. From the 228 area code, who do we have?
Hi, Bobby. It's Matt.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Good. Yeah, I just got off a phone conference, and I saw your messages.
I just saw him online, Becky, and I messaged him to call in. I actually wanted to catch up with him and talk to him about some of the things that we were talking about before. I know Matt Virgin.
Hey, Matt, how you doing? That's my little Australian puppy.
Yes, it is. Hey, Miss Becky, how are you?
I'm fine, sir. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Thank you. You too.
Appreciate it. You know, I made it a point yesterday to tell at least 4 or 5 Muslims Merry Christmas.
And maybe serve them pork for dinner.
Yeah, Yeah. Yeah, we're having ham for dinner and bacon wrapped jalapenos and come on over.
Well, it's interesting that you bring up Muslims because I'm a family rights activist, but I'm in a lot of the conservative circles, and I'm seeing a lot of news stories popping up from Australia at the moment where ISIS is trying to start a guerrilla warfare out there in the Blue Mountains.
See, that's one reason why I wanted you to come on. I wanted to ask you if you've been hearing anything from back home about any of the stuff that's been going on with the Muslims getting really, really out of hand over there. I noticed where you're from, and then in France, and then in trying to think of two other places, Germany.
I'm sorry. There's a good Facebook page that I'm a member of. It's just a like page. It's not a group, and it's called the Australian Tea Party, and they switch between America and Australian news when it comes to conservatives over there and over here, and that's where I get a lot of my information from. And yeah, the last story I saw was this morning was that they come across handwritten correspondence between ISIS sympathizers that they want to set up camps in the Blue Mountains and start guerrilla warfare out there.
Well, now that's part of the outback, is it not?
Yeah, that's part of the outback. It's these beautiful blue mountains that, I have personally visited them several times, and during winter it actually snows out there a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I've got a friend of mine in Queensland, and what is it, PERH on the same side right there, and they've been talking about that they're trying to make a push in there in that area real hard too.
But that's about all I know about it. I'm not very well versed in what's going on with ISIS and that. Particularly, I become very busy at this time of year. Everyone wanting to see their kids or try and get their kids home. So it's been flat out. Like there was no Christmas break. It was sending out emails and talking to people.
Well, I thought Australia was one of the hardest places to actually go to. Like, if you wanted to become a resident of Australia, I always heard and thought that it was harder there than pretty much any other place. To be able to get a visa and stuff to go there. Is that not true, or?
I think that ever since the United States brought out the visa waiver program, you come and visit for a certain amount of months and then you go back, without, as long as you don't have a criminal record or anything like that. See, this is where the world has gone so backwards. To get into Australia, you used to have to be a criminal, and now if you're a criminal, you can't get in. That's how opposite the world has gone.
That's funny. Wow, is that funny?
But no, I
have a friend of mine. I have a friend of mine that he's from Australia, but now he lives in New Zealand, and he said that he loves it in New Zealand, but he said that he misses his friends from back home. So I believe that he's going to be moving back to Australia. But after some of the stuff that's been going on, he's like, I don't know if I want to move back there. I might as well move back to the United States. And I thought it was kind of funny because I'm like, Australia is nowhere near as bad as the United States. So it's like, why would you even come close to saying that? But I don't know. Maybe he knows something I don't know,
They're just as worse over there. It's our illegal immigrants don't walk across the border. They come on boats.
Right. Hey, have any of you been following any of the Somalis, what's been going on with them? They've been trying to pirate ships and take over ships and stuff like that, and they keep getting busted, and they've been getting fired upon, and it's actually kind of funny because you see these boats come flying up out of nowhere, and all of a sudden you see these equipped with all kinds of weaponry ships sitting there, and all of a sudden a Somali boat comes flying out of nowhere to try to take over one of these ships, and all of a sudden you just see them getting fired upon, like they're trying to hit the wrong boats is what it boils down to.
Well, the solution to that is simple. Send out Greenpeace and the Sea Shepherd, and they can throw butter and eggs at them. That might solve that problem.
Right. Right. You know what? I love watching whale wars because they're not about trying to kill those guys. they usually use like that loud, like, I don't know, horn or sound, and it's just like irritating. And then they have water guns that they use, and they push them away that way. And they got a couple different ways that they do it, and it's not always just shooting at them and stuff. But it's kind of funny to watch that. The way that these guys come, like they're going to take over this big, huge ship or whatever, and all of a sudden, they get fenced off. It's kind of cool to watch.
I don't know. I met the crew from some of the crew from the Sea Shepherd in Brisbane, Queensland, when I was there at the Green Festival, and it doesn't really faze me. I'm a family rights activist. The last thing I need is to be busy with animal rights as well.
Right. Well, they're big time for that. I mean, that's why they're out there to stop the Japanese from getting the whales and the blubber and stuff like that. And I guess they're out there fighting a good fight because they you see them and they stop a lot of people. I mean, especially the Japanese. I guess the Japanese are famous for that.
Well, I remember, I think it was last year when the Japanese ended up arresting half the crew and locking them in jail. Wasn't there an incident with one of their captains or something?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't really follow the animal rights groups because, I'm too busy with family rights. There's so many rights out there.
Right.
Hey, you guys, y'all want to hear about where the terrorist sites are? Nat just pulled it up here in the U.S. Yeah, hang on.
Sure.
All right, Nat's gonna chime in here for a minute. She's got some really interesting information. So much fun.
All right. The first ones I looked at was in Texas, and there's one in Houston, Texas, and one in Waco, Texas. Where's everyone else from?
Bobby's in Illinois.
Okay, Illinois.
And Keith is in Iowa, and our brother, Mr. Virgin, is in California.
Well, it looks like the first two, Iowa and Illinois, you're good. There is no training camps there. So in California, you've got one in Valladolid, Oak Hill, Squaw Valley, and Tula County. There's terrorist training camps there. I thought
Anything in Illinois?
Yeah. There's nothing in Illinois and nothing in Iowa.
Read them off real quick.
This is a lot. Okay, we've got Marion, Alabama. The ones in California, Buena Vista, Colorado, Tallahassee, Florida, Commerce, Georgia, Jessup, Georgia, Springfield, Massachusetts, Hagerstown, Maryland, Hyattsville, Maryland, Coldwater, Michigan, Binghamton, New York, Deposit, New York, Hancock, New York, Tallahassee, Oklahoma, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Saylorsburg, Pennsylvania, New York, South Carolina, Dover, Tennessee, Fairfax, Virginia, Falls, Virginia, Merriam, Virginia, Red House, Virginia, Roanoke, Virginia, Bethany, West Virginia, and Alaska. So it looks like if you live in Virginia, you're surrounded by terrorist training people.
Isn't that convenient, guys? That's right next to D.C., isn't it, Virginia?
Yeah. My father-in-law lives in a place right outside of Harrisonburg. It's called McGaheysville, and it's not spelled like it sounds. It actually spelled like McGaheysville, but he lives about an hour and a half outside of, I think it's an hour and a half, something like that, outside of D.C. So, I mean, anything that's in Virginia is not too far from D.C. at all.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 training camps in Virginia. And 2 in Texas. That's messed up. But thought I'd share that with you guys because I'm looking up stuff.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, they're homegrown jihad terrorist camps. That's what they're listed as.
What is your source, Matt? Where do you get that from?
I'm getting this from Jews News. I believe it's JewsNews.com. I'm not sure, but it gives you all the news on stuff like terrorists and stuff like that.
Where what is your accent?
I'm from.
Tell them where you're from.
I'm from England. I'm from Muslimville.
Oh, okay.
Oh, so we've got a
Oh,
Tom
okay.
on the line as well as an Aussie.
Yeah. I moved away from England because there's too many Muslims moving in there, and I'm just like, whatever, so I had to get out. Because where I lived right by Heathrow Airport, and because we don't have illegal immigrants, we have asylum seekers, and there was thousands of asylum seekers boarding, getting off the planes in Heathrow, and the first place that the government would dump them would be in Hayes, Middlesex, and that's where I lived. And then it become overgrown with, like, Somalian Muslims. So they took over the whole of my area that my whole family has grown up in since my mom's mom was alive. And now it's nothing like it anymore. It's like a Somaliaville.
Well, I mean, I believe it was either last year or 2 years ago when the asylum seekers were going around the streets of England and cutting up military men.
That I don't know. I don't really keep up with English news anymore because I'm so disgusted with how it's gone. I don't even really care. I just care about my family, so I don't really look up stuff. And then I saw that other guy was beheading somebody in Tower Hamlets or somewhere in North London. So it's got pretty bad. And the Somalians are pretty bad. They're all Muslim. The Somalians that live in England. There's no Christian Somalians. They're just all Muslim Somalians, and they're rude. They'll walk down the street and they're sit like their green rob in front of you, and they've taken over all the stores, and they're rude. And like one of my sister told me that one of the Muslim Somalian girls, she started arguing. Well, not arguing with my mum. She told her to get out the effing way, B, and all this, and try to not have a fight with her, but she started being aggressive with my mum. And my mum's 58 at the time, and they're just so rude and disrespectful.
Come back to see those fucking Somali folks on the bus.
You tell. Yeah, me and Becky were on the London, just a regular bus, coming home from a night out, and this rude little stupid, dumbass Somalian. Because back in my trousers, I was leaning forward, and what did he do, Becky? He grabbed my thong. Yeah, I was falling asleep, and he grabbed my thong and pinged it.
And then he grabbed your hair and run his hand across
your
face. That's all right, brother. I got up. I was ready to whoop somebody's ass. I did, too.
There's some news coming out right now that I guess 3 thugs tried to rape some little granddaughter of some man, and the grandfather came out and put some holes in him. Yeah. 3 thugs attempted to rape his granddaughter. Grandpa grabbed a gun and blasted one of them to hell and put holes in the other ones. And they look like some straight-up gangbangers.
Good for him. Bravo.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
You know, and I'll say it again, I'm all for immigration if it's done right. I think there should be a limit how many come in. But listen, there is no excuse for us having, when we are harassed by our rogue government as American citizens the way that we are, there is no excuse for terrorists that have been imported here to openly have a terrorist training camp while they call patriots terrorists. We're law-abiding citizens who happen to own weapons, and we own them for a reason, and that is for the purpose of self-defense and to remove tyranny. The second, I don't think I'll ever see patriots use until forced to, but because of the return fire. You know what I mean? But as a citizen, you should be able to defend your family. But there's no excuse for terrorist training camps to be on our soil. Why are we allowing that?
Lord only knows. You know, there's so much stuff going on, Becky. I mean, let's be real about it. There's so many things that if we could do something about it, you know, we would have done something about it a long time ago if we had our hands in it and we were in control of anything, but we're not. You know what I mean? No matter how hard we try, no matter how much we would love to, it's not something that's happening right now. I mean, we need, you know, we just need to do something. I mean, it's getting sickening for, you know, us to be put through the ringer the way that we are.
Well, the only one that's going to stop it is you realize that. Our government has orchestrated it, so who's going to have to stop it? We are.
Oh,
now,
yeah, I know, but
make a decision how we're going to do that. Are we going to do it by force and violence, or are we going to try to avoid the violence and simply use force to remove the root of the cancer?
I was on a radio show several weeks ago, and someone put forward a proposal, though, rather extremist. His proposal was the liberal media is taking over and reporting on stuff that is irrelevant to what should be said. So he said, why don't we take the news stations instead of focusing on, you know, why don't we take the news stations to court?
I agree. You know, Anonymous hacked Fox News not too long ago. Completely took over their airway and broadcasted while on live news.
Well, I don't really care how they do it. Let's just do it and get it over with.
I'm with you on that, brother.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm to the point to where I just, you know, I just can't take it no more. I mean, you know, we got to do something, and we got to do it quick.
Well, we're expecting an inflationary, a major increase in food costs in January. We're already seeing them report about it in Europe right now on the news. It is coming to America. I've already been given very reliable sources, Carol Ray, I believe, and Gene Smith both. They report to us on financials, and they're dead on every time. They do their research. And we are about to see some stuff happen in the next couple of weeks that's going to blow you away.
Oh, no doubt.
They're talking about, you know, $4 and $5 a loaf of bread, you know, $6 to $10 on a gallon of milk. The gas being as cheap as it is right now is not a good thing. It's a good thing for us.
Oh, I know that.
At the moment, but it's a bad thing.
I told a bunch of people that yesterday. I said, you know what? They're all, yay, gas is $2 a gallon. I said, and you're happy about that? I go, I understand you're happy about it right now, but in about 2 weeks you're not going to be happy.
No. Not whenever it's $10 or $15 a gallon, which is about what they're going to do to it.
I'll be done in 30 minutes.
I can drive. I'm hungry.
The only regret I have right now about the gas being so cheap is that I don't have an underground tank to put about 200,000 gallons in.
I'm buying.
I'm almost done.
I'll be back before you're done.
Yeah. Well, I tried explaining to them. You know, it's, you know, everybody's all happy about it, and, like, you know, they should be, I guess, for the time being, but they're not going to like it when that, you know, $5 and $6 a gallon comes in, you know, comes storming in, and then, you know, other things start going up, and, you know, I was reading an article, I believe it was yesterday, that was talking about, like you were talking about the food, that, you know, the prices are going to go up, but not just that, but they say that the shelves are going to be bare, because we're going to be having a problem here pretty soon finding food because some of these places, some of these big wholesalers and stuff like that are not going to be putting out the food like they were before. So I don't know what that's all about, but it seems to me it's all about the almighty dollar. I don't foresee them, lowering production and losing money. So I don't know how that's going to work out.
Think about this, brother. If we see it happen, and this is you have to follow trends. If you see what happens, soon we'll be in a gas line and they'll call a shortage again, at which point the gas will climb, escalate in price, at which it's going to affect transportation, at which point the shelves become empty.
Right. Well, I don't know. I just hope that, I hope something's done. And I know one thing for sure. I learned a lot from Tom from Bunker Report, and I've been doing some things that he's told me about, and I've gotten some of the containers that the totes that he keeps some of the stuff in to put water in, and to get like extra canned goods and stuff like that, and then the rice, extra, like get a 100-pound bag of rice or a 50-pound bag of rice and bag up 1-pound bags, and not just for yourself and not just for eating, but as a bartering chip, like he said, and use it. You may need it later on. Somebody may be hungry, and maybe they might have something that you need, and you'll be able to trade it out. Because money is going to, not money, food is going to be a tough commodity. So people are going to be willing, to give up other things that you might need. You might need batteries. You might need, who knows? So, I hope that it never happens in our lifetime, but I'd be foolish to say that it's not going to. Something big and devastating is going to hit us eventually somewhere throughout time, and I don't think that we're actually going to be prepared for it. I hate to say it.
Who said that between them? No. Oh, okay.
So.
Did she eat in the street?
Yeah, we're in trouble.
Yeah. Eventually something's going to come. If it's not going to be a major storm, or if it's not going to be, I don't know. Who knows? A volcano, a storm, a power outage. Somebody might hit the grid. It's going to be something. Something's going to come eventually, and no doubt in my mind that it's not going to be the government. The government is going to be the person that the people that are going to do it to us, and they're going to have a big, big part of it.
Have you ever seen the videos of the trucks that have actually, people have called us conspiracy theorists about the underground tunnels and the bunkers for the government? Have you ever seen the videos, the live videos of the truckers going underground to deliver? I'm talking hundreds of trucks lined up this past couple of years to deliver food and produce and So they've
had truckers that brought videos in there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying if they've done that, that tells you everything you need to know.
Right. Well, I did see truck drivers, driving in there, and they had video cameras and, on their phones or whatever, and, you see them coming out, and they show the videos and everything from what's going on down there, and quite crazy, some of the monstrosities that they have underground.
Yeah, you're right. I just don't know what to do, Bobby, man. Outside of just telling everybody flat out, you better get, if you've got military training, you've got war under your belt, you're the people we're looking to lead us into deliverance. So you better start stepping up to the plate instead of just giving us lip service on the internet about how badass you are and what kind of tour you've done and how you're going to uphold the oath that you took. You need to step up, man. Y'all need to start being leaders. and having your groups together, because the shit is going to hit the fan soon.
Well, I have something to share. The Operation America Freedom page.
Yeah.
For anybody that's not, that doesn't know about it, the Operation America Freedom page has been asking for people to state what state that you're in, and you put down what state you're in, and then everybody is trying to connect with one another from people from your state. So recently they said, who's from where or whatever, and everybody started putting their states in, and people from each state have been connecting with one another. So maybe it might be something that might be able to help one another out.
I hope so, but, you have to remember, Bobby, the government's watching all that shit, too. So all we're doing, we're trying to organize, but we're definitely, believe if you do that, the government's tying people together, and they're watching your communication with each other.
Oh, we know that. I mean, everybody knows that, but you know what? At this point, does it really matter?
No, I'm just telling
you know what
people.
I mean?
Exactly. That's my point. I'm just telling people, stop being paranoid because they're already watching you, but when you start forming in groups and you start being too vocal with it, it's not going to do us a whole lot of good because they're going to counter us before we ever get started. Do you know what I'm saying? It's great that you're organizing like that, but you need to get off the internet, off the damn computer, and you need to have those discussions with cell phones not anywhere near the area. Don't just turn them off. Leave them in your car. Walk away from the damn things, and y'all go have your conversations about what you're going to do, not on the phone and not via the internet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, Bobby?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Hey, Matthew, do you want to talk about the project that you've been working on with the Child Protective Services?
Which project's that? I'm working on so many at the moment.
Well, no, I mean the one that you've been working on that you sent me the info on.
The one I just sent you is just
absolutely.
It's just the article that I wrote up that Dr. Coolwell published for me about our Child Protective Services reform, which I've been working very diligently on. I'm trying to make the right connections in the right places, and I'm getting there. Yesterday I posted a video on my Facebook page of John Lovitz on Sean Hannity saying Obama's a fucking asshole. And a friend of mine got in touch with me, and he says, I know Lovitz, right? And another comedian that works with him on his podcast show. And I was like, okay. So I'm just waiting for the number because, I'd love to get on. I'd love to get on radio with John Lovitz and his team and fuck you, Obama. But I'm working on my documentary next year, so that's going to be a very big project. So, it's just reform. It's hard because it's the end of the year. It's hard to get a hold of a bunch of people and that sort of thing, but we're working on it. So if you could share that around for me, I'd appreciate it very much. I'm trying to get the word out that we're working diligently on this problem while you guys are working on America's future. I'm working on keeping American families together.
Absolutely. I have some breaking news. There's news being reported from downtown Chicago right now that there's about 400 kids that are wilding out downtown. They started off at Navy Pier, and they're moving through downtown, and they're destroying stuff, breaking windows, and all types of crap.
Target practice!
Yep. So that's what they're doing. They're making their way downtown and breaking windows and destroying the downtown area and everything else. So that's happening. It started off at Navy Pier, and they're making their way through downtown. And a person that's an activist here in Chicago, she kind of is on the wrong side of things if you ask me. But she just actually reported it, and I'm looking it up on the news, and trying to see if I can find out anything more about it. But I thought that was kind of interesting.
Well, you know what's sad, Bobby, is those little bastards can get on Twitter and social networking, and they can gather 400 in about a matter of an hour, 2 hours to get their. They do this all the time all across America, and we as patriots can't get more than 20 people in one spot. That's pretty damn sad.
Right. Oh, no, it is. It is. But I thought it was important about what Matthew's working on with the kids. I mean, that has a lot to do with what we're talking about for the future. I mean, especially with what we have to come. If we have no future, what was that?
You could keep fighting for your rights in 10 years' time and 20 years' time and 30 years' time, but what's the point in having the Second Amendment if they're violating the Fourth constantly and the Fifth?
Right. Right. Oh, there's no argument there. It's just a damn shame. I have no idea what direction that this whole country is headed in, but, the more that I think about it, nothing surprises me at all. Nothing surprises me at all when it comes to the way that they treat us and the way that the government is going about everything. First it's, the food, and then it's, what the hell? They're raising prices on everything. Okay, yeah, they lowered gas prices. Big freaking deal. Eventually, all the food prices, like Becky's talking about, is going to skyrocket. There's a lot of people that can't afford to take care of themselves. They can't pay their home bills. The foreclosure numbers are skyrocketing. Unemployment is going through the roof. Oh, everybody says, Obama's doing such a great job. He's brought down the numbers of unemployment and this and that and whatever. It's a crock of shit. Okay? It's a crock of shit. I know so many people that have lost their insurance because of this whole Obamacare. They can't afford to take care of their families. They can't pay for any insurance or anything for their families. They can't afford to buy groceries because they're living paycheck to paycheck. I mean, eventually what they're trying to do is they're trying to drive all these people, in the direction where they have to go get government assistance. And then eventually, guess what? FEMA camp, or, you end up somewhere that you don't definitely want to be, because you have to call upon the government to ask them for assistance because you don't have a choice. And it's a damn shame. We shouldn't live like this. I mean, I can't even tell you how many other countries pay people the correct amount of money. They don't have any problems with people, not being able to pay their bills. They can pay their bills with no problems.
Do you know what we do?
Yeah, go ahead.
We organize everyone, the millions upon millions of patriots, and let's organize our own army, and let's take Mexico. Let's turn it into a new America.
I think we should. Hell, half of them are here. We might as well go on now and take the country.
Take that country and start again. Start again with a new constitution, new founding fathers, everything. Do the whole lot again, and let them have this place.
Well, I will say one thing. Mexico is a beautiful, beautiful country. We used to go I don't know, we went about 4 or 5 years in a row, and you talk about a beautiful, beautiful place. I mean, there's just, it really is. It's a gorgeous place. And everybody, how could you go there? They have so many problems and this and that and whatever. And people that say that type of stuff really don't know the true situation that Mexico is in. Mexico is not as dangerous as they say it is, unless you're in a border town. If you're in a border town, of course it's bad. But I mean, places that are not in a border town, that are in like where the what the hell is it called? Where you go and get away, the vacation spots and all that type of stuff. Yeah, it's nice over there and stuff. But you don't have to worry about people trying to get you, and attack you and all that type of stuff. I mean, it's really not bad at all. I mean, we've been to some beautiful, beautiful places. I mean, if we could take it over and make it ours, I mean, that would be nice. I'd be one of the first ones to go.
Well, I mean, most of their criminals are over here anyway, so you may as well.
Yeah, right. Seriously,
it's not going to be. It's not going to be much of a fight.
I just actually am going through my emails here, and Becky, I got emails from PlayStation Network telling me, PlayStation Network sent me a message and said that they're informing me that their websites have been attacked, and that my information may have been stolen, and if I have made any purchases or anything recently or used my credit card on PlayStation, that there's a good chance that it may have been used.
Well, this isn't the first time that this has happened to the PlayStation Network. It happened 5 years ago.
They're on the couch.
Yeah, I remember that.
Well, anyway,
guys,
I'm going to have to sign off. I have to eat. I'm, so hungry. I just got off the phone conference and everything, so. But
okay, awesome. We appreciate you joining us, and, don't be a stranger.
Yeah, thanks for having us back. I just lose track of time. But
right.
You guys have a good evening, and I just want to do a quick shout-out to Karen over in Australia. She's been listening in to me.
All righty, sir. We appreciate it. Thanks for calling in.
God bless you guys, and God bless America.
All righty. Thank you, sir.
Good night, brother.
All right, Matt.
All right, good night.
Okay. All right. Bye-bye. That was Matthew Virgin, friend of ours, friend of the show. Okay, so, we don't have very much more time here. We've got 8 minutes left. Tomorrow we have a show set up from 5 to 7, Becky?
Yeah,
I think 5 to 7. So tomorrow we have a show set up 5 to 7. It's a roundtable discussion. We have some things that we want to talk about, not kind of like tonight. Tonight was just going to be like a tonight was just going to be kind of like a open mic type thing, and letting people call in and rage and stuff like that. But tomorrow, we're going to have some topics for discussion. I'm just trying to figure out what's going to be the best one right now, because there's so many things to be talking about. It's just, it's like, what direction do we go in? There's so much stuff that is just, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
Really doesn't.
Yeah, me either, brother. Me either, man.
One just... Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, brother.
No, I was going to say one's just as important as the other one. So no matter which one we choose, it really, really doesn't matter. So we'll have a couple different topics up for debate, and we want to do a roundtable discussion. And I'm hoping that Keith will be on the call and chime in. It's just, oh man, it's like my head hurts so bad from thinking about all the things that are going on, and it's like, what is our future really going to hold for us? Seriously, what is our future going to hold? I mean, because right now it sure in the hell doesn't look too good. No changes are being made.
Oh, changes are being made, but they damn sure aren't good ones.
No, they're not in our favor by any means.
Yeah, we're in a world of hurt right now. Listen, we're in the final stages of death, if you will, and anybody that doesn't understand that or realize that at this point that running our circles you know, I don't know what to tell you. I can't. I'm not a fearmonger. I'm just a messenger. And God put me in this position and put Bobby in this position and others like us to inform you folks and to sound the alarm, if you will. And you're either going to do something with that or you're going to continue to wait on somebody else to save your family. And you know, if we can't depend on each other to show up at a function, then I sure as hell don't want to depend on you to defend my family. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can't
absolutely.
Do that. So,
absolutely.
I mean, that's just that truth, ain't it? It is. That's the truth. If you can't depend on one another to show up, you better not depend on one another to watch your six or guard your back or feed your family or whatever the hell you think you're going to do for one another.
Right.
And that's the sad truth, man. I hate to deliver that message, but it has to be delivered.
Right.
You agree?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. No doubt. No doubt. I don't know.
I gave you your keys, right? Well, okay. All right, brother. I'm going to let you go then and say good night. I'm going to go on about my evening. I got to let the monster out of the garage. Out of the cage and, you know, do my thing.
All right. Well, yeah, I was going to pretty much close it down anyway. I'm just going to play a closing song and get us out of here and pretty much thank everybody that joined us and sharing, and hopefully tomorrow we'll have a nice little roundtable discussion, have Keith on, you and I, and Bill's going to probably join us tomorrow, and, you know, let's put our thinking hats together and think of something really, really good to bring tomorrow because, you know, let's try to figure out what is, like, the most important issues to be covering right now. And
absolutely.
So,
all right.
All right.
I'll get on the news feeds and see what's up, what's coming, what's going, and we'll go from there. I'll get with you during the day. Listen, for all the listeners, God bless you. I hope I didn't beat you up too bad with the truth, but, you know, it doesn't always taste good. Each and every one of you, don't drink and drive and count your moments with your family and hold them dear to your heart because, like Bobby said, we're never promised tomorrow. So make the best of today. With that, I'm going to say good night. Thank you for listening.
All right. Good night, Becky. And let's see. Actually, Keith is still online. I don't know. Are you still there, Keith? All right.
I'm still here.
Well, yeah, we're gonna call it a night, but hopefully we will talk to you tomorrow also.
Well, I was just going to say I won't make any promises, but I'll do what I can not to come unglued tomorrow.
All righty. All right, brother. Thanks for joining us.
Okay.
And I want to thank everybody else that was able to make it and listen, and that's it.
Okay. Have a good night. Talk to you tomorrow.
All righty, you too. Okay.
Bye.
All right. And for everybody else, this is how we're going to end it.
You're listening to the Rage Against the Regime podcast. Don't be a stranger. Like Rage Against the Regime podcast on Facebook or tweet us at RATR Podcast.